So we're going to go over something just a little bit different than we normally do. Sorry, let me keep admitting a couple more people. Your laptop time is different than my phone time.
Oh, why not then?
I don't know, maybe my phone's behind your computer. Both your computers are like a few minutes ahead. And like,
What time is it?
oh wait, no, just kidding. It
Wow.
was a screenshot that it was still 6.
Grand Rising, everyone. 5 a.m. for you? Nice.
You know, I really wish I could be one of those morning people that like woke up early, like at the crack of dawn, but I'm just not. Like I've tested it so many times and I'm just not. I think everyone's body is just different.
I mean, you don't have to be a morning person to crush your day. Nice. All right. So everything's on.
All right, so we're gonna get started. Everyone's for the most part admitted. And this is something a little different than we usually go over, but I feel like here and there we'll typically drop it in or kind of say something to the effect of. And I'm not sure if you guys know about the law of attraction. If you guys even believe in the law of attraction. Do you guys know what the law of attraction is? Can anyone tell me what the law of attraction is? Anyone that uses it and has like a really good method or something that you typically do every single day or when you're trying to get to a goal? Like, do you use it? How do you use it? When do you use it? Like, tell me what you guys do because I want to know what everyone does. Yes.
Who's read the book?
Who has read the book The Secret? The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Did I pronounce her last name correctly? Um, yes, yes. Everyday Attractor, Angela, Tara, what you put out there is what you get back. Brianna, me, you've read it. And Twin has as well. What is your guys' takeaways and how do you use it? And when you're going after a goal, is there something specific that you do that you feel has actually helped you hit that goal using the law of attraction?
Check.
I got to be more specific. I'm really good with food. That's the one thing I would say is like the easiest to like attract, right? Or manifest, right? Like I'll think of something that I want to eat and I'll think of it, I'll feel the feeling, I'll smell the smell in my imagination and lo and behold, like someone is bringing it to me or a couple days later I just so happen to be somewhere and that's where we're going, right? Not on purpose, but I'm sure it's all like subconscious. Your energy. Yes. Yes. And energy is everything. Like it's everything, right? Like if you want to see negative, like you're going to see negative. If you want to see positive things, you're going to see positive things out there, right? So, have you guys ever noticed people and the really positive people with really good energy, they just seem to always be loving life, like lit every single day, excited, and just no matter what happens, like it doesn't matter, right? Because no matter what happens, like their life is great, and you always wonder, like, why is their life so good? Like, why are they so happy? Like, what's going on? Like, that's their energy, right? And like the energy that you put out there is what you're going to attract, right? Because have you also noticed that sometimes there's people that are really negative or maybe not in a good energy or not in a good place, and your body just kind of repels them. Like you're around them and you're just like, oh, I don't want to be here right now. And it's nothing personal. It's just that there's an energy to it, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have heard this before or seen it, but there's like on the outside of your body, like there's a force field, right? Like there's kind of like a field around your body that most of the time it's not visible. You can't see it, but it's there, right? And so that's kind of like the energy that you feel sometimes when you're around someone and you're like, I don't really want to be around this person because I feel like I'm just going to go straight down with them. So yes, even when you think you don't want something, the thought of it will make it come about. Yes, your aura. Yes, it's your aura. And yes, like, have you noticed that when you think of something negative, it happens, like it just happens. And sometimes it just happens instantaneously, right? So it's best to keep your energy up. And I know sometimes it's not that easy because based on the external factors and the things that you can see, right? But there's so many other things that you cannot see that's out there that's waiting for you, but you have to allow it to come through. And how you allow it to come through is you have to change your energy and like your aura around you, like that field around you, to just believe, right? Because there's so many times when you see people and you're just like, how did this person do this, or how did this person do that? And you start to go into that like overthinking, right? And it's like they may not be any different than you, they may be the same as you, or maybe they even know less than you or have less than you, yet they're always out there crushing it, getting those things, right? So the book is a self-help book, and it revolves around the law of attraction. And so I don't know if you guys have seen it before. I know most of you guys said that you have, but yes, you have to believe to receive, right? Before you actually attain something, you actually have to believe that you will attain it and that it is your birthright to be able to have whatever you want, right? But you have to change your energy, because it's your energy that's going to attract things. So have you guys heard the saying, misery loves company? And sometimes you see miserable people hang out with other miserable people, and like negative people kind of just have like their own negative group, right? Like, and then you see positive people with good energy, with high energy. You see thrivers, and it's a whole different ball game, right? Like, that's how you have to be. Every single day, you have to do your best to like raise your energy up, regardless of the circumstances or the external factors that are happening, right? Because sometimes you may be the one that's attracting things that you actually don't want. So it kind of also goes into a little bit of spirituality in a way, or faith, or any type of religion, any God that you believe in, right? And just putting something out there and having the belief and the faith that it will happen, right? So there's power in prayers, or power in your words, right? Like your words are like spells, right? So when you say something, you're putting something out there, and that's what you're going to get back. And sometimes you don't realize that, but just try it. Just try being as positive as possible and actually feeling the feeling of seeing things come to fruition before it actually comes to fruition. Even though your external circumstances, you can't see it in the moment, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you visualize it and it will come to you. So basically, this book, The Law of Attraction, it's the power of the law of attraction. And basically, it says it attracts like things, right? So if you focus on positive thoughts and visualizing your desire, basically, you can manifest those desires into reality, right? And so if you guys don't believe in manifestation and all that stuff, maybe you can exchange the word manifestation with like faith, right? You know, I know some people pray, and like praying is like a form of faith, believing in a higher power, believing in something bigger and greater than yourself, right? And so that's kind of like the same thing when it comes to the law of attraction. Yes, frequency. If you guys know about frequency, there is a certain level of frequency in your body, right? Like, there's different types of music, and it plays at different hertz, if you guys have heard about it, and different hertz, different frequencies will do different things, right? And then there's also positive thinking, right? So the book stresses the importance of maintaining a positive mindset and focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want. Like what Twin was saying, right? You think of something bad, and guess what? That something bad is going to happen. So if you can think of something positive can also happen too. So as you think, like, that's what will come, right? And so negative thoughts will attract negative outcomes. And I know that these days it is so easy to go down the path of negativity, because what are we seeing every single day? Like, I don't know if you guys watch the news. Most of us don't, but if you watch the news, what do you see, right? And there's just always sad things, bad things, right? And so when you go out into the world, what are you going to think and what are you going to see? Like, your mind is automatically going to go towards that, right? And if you grew up with parents, right, maybe they're immigrants, or maybe, they just didn't know any better. There was not as much self-help books and videos and social media these days to really help guide you towards a different path, right? And you look at your parents and you're like, oh my goodness, like this is why I think this way. This is why I am this way. Like sometimes they're so negative because they grew up watching the news. They grew up watching or hearing someone say something about this and that, right? So sometimes it's like a programming, right? There's a programming that we have, and it starts when we're young and it starts from our parents. But when you start to get a little bit older, you start to step into who you are more. You start to see like, hey, like this is why I am the way I am. Like you're observing your parent or observing someone that you grew up with or that raised you, and you're like, oh my goodness, why do they do this? Right. And you're like, oh my God, like I do the same thing. And so rewiring, your surroundings and your environment, where you grew up, who you grew up around, it's so important in a part of being able to change your energy and just become a different person. Um, I don't know if you guys use this, but visualization is another technique when it comes to the law of attraction, or when it comes to having faith, right? Having belief in something that you're trying to get. So sometimes I feel like the best times is like right before bed when you're about to go to sleep, right? When most of the time people pray before they go to bed at night, or right in the morning when you wake up and you're just barely going to get your day started, right? Like if you can visualize, or maybe not visualize, but pray, right? When you're praying, you're still going to visualize because you kind of talk or think about it, right? If you visualize what it is that you want and you already achieved it, like you visualize that it's already in your reality, like your subconscious mind will actually start to work on that because you're feeling the feeling and you're attracting that positive feeling in. So if there's something that you want in life, and I'm sure at some point in time, regardless if you know it or not, you guys have all done this, where there was something that you wanted, a goal you wanted to achieve, maybe even something as simple as something you wanted to eat or somewhere you wanted to go. And it's like all of a sudden, like you're going there, like it's just happening, and it wasn't happening before, but you thought the thought, you felt the feeling, and then you put that energy out there, and all of a sudden it is, right? Like it's in your reality. um so so I'll give you an example. Recently, I'm really good at food. Like I'm really good at manifesting food. But recently, like this whole past year, I was like, man, I really miss Vegas. Like I really want to go to Vegas. Like I don't know what it is, but I want to go there. Like I want to see all the lights and the buildings, and I want to like eat at a buffet, and see the new things to see, right? And I want to go with my kids. I want to go with my family. And so, recently you guys went on a lifestyle getaway, and that lifestyle getaway just so happened on the weekend that our nonprofit was having an event in Scottsdale. So we weren't able to make it, right? And so I was like, you know what? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, Vegas is there, it'll always be there. But for me, for Sean and I, we're very intentional with our time. So as much as we would love to like go out and hang out and do things and have fun, we have a pretty tight schedule. And that schedule is usually revolved around income producing activities and us getting closer to our goals. So you won't often find us going out, hanging out, eating, and doing things unless it's very intentional, right? And so I'm like, well, what is the reason that we would even be going to Vegas? Because I kind of just don't want to go to Vegas just to go to Vegas to have fun, right? There's so many things that are stacked up. Well, it just so happens that SEMA is next weekend, right? So next week. So SEMA is an auto industry conference that happens every year. So people that are in the industry, they go there, they meet up, they network, they go to, like different vendors and different booths, build relationships, network with other people. And so last year we didn't go just because we just had the baby. But this year we're like, you know what? We did talk about it last year. And I think Sean was like, I talked to our partner, Jeff, and he was like, let's go, let's take the team. Like, it'll be really good for us. We didn't get to go last year, but this year, like, we really should, especially since we've been making a lot of noise in the industry, especially online with Sean's marketing efforts, right? And so I was like, oh my goodness, like I wanted to go, and now like I actually have an intentional reason to go to Vegas because I've just been wanting to go. And so that's kind of like the law of attraction, right? Like I put it out there and I was like, it's so close, it's so easy. Like, how can anyone not just hop on a car or hop on a plane and get to that place, right? But for me, it was like there's other layers to it. Like, and so that happened. Um, so yeah, so I'm really excited to go. I'm excited to take the kids. One of the kids is not that excited, but I was just like, we're gonna have fun. Like, I don't care, you're gonna have fun. So that happened, right? So that was kind of like a manifestation, I guess. And then the next thing that happened was one of my friends, he was like, hey, like I'm having a conference in November and I really want you to speak on the entrepreneurial panel. And this friend has literally been asking me like 3 years in a row, like, come to Vegas, come to my conference. I want you on stage speaking on an entrepreneurial panel. And I've always said no. I was like, no, no, like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Right. But this year I took a leap of faith and I was like, yes, like, I will do it. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I have no idea, right? But I'm just going to go. And it just so happens to be like in Vegas, right? And so I was like, wow, like I really wanted to go. And if I'm going twice in 1 month, and I'm gonna be able to like actually like have fun and experience it and be very intentional with my time and what I'm doing, right? Like our lives revolve around business. So now we're going to go twice, and one is going to involve like our auto shop, and the next one is going to just involve like me, kind of talking a little bit about like my entrepreneurial path and like starting to like build my personal brand by going on stage and speaking, right? So that's a little bit about law of attraction, right? Like it's just you put it in your mind, you put the feeling out there, you feel it, you get excited, you think of the food, you smell it, and then it just happens. Um, but yes, so Miko said, I feel like I've manifested some friendships, would join a club in high school or college and see someone, feel their energy and just gravitate towards them and want to be friends with them. Few of my closest friends today are because of that. You know what's so funny? I don't know if they're on the call, but like it's so funny because that's how I actually manifested like Tiny and Tina being my friend, right? Like we were all on a boat, like we were all on a yacht partying and stuff, and I didn't really know them at the time. Like I just knew of them, but I just saw like how fun they were, and I remember watching them and they were having fun and laughing, and I was like, wow, I'd really like to be friends with them because they seem like they're having such a good time and they're such good friends. And literally it happened. Thrive happened, right? And so we became friends that way. So it's so funny that you mentioned that, Nico, because yeah, like you can literally attract and like manifest anything and everything. It could be places to go to, friends, right? Like food or goals. Like what goals do you have, right? Do you have financial goals? Do you have goals to be able to do something with your family and go somewhere? Like anything and everything, like the world is your oyster. And so it's all about just really putting that belief out there and feeling the feeling of the emotion and like putting it in your visualization, right? And like letting no doubt seep into your mind, right? Like Shun taught me like this saying, and it's called like 1% doubt and you're out. And I never knew that. And I was like, oh, and it's so true. Like 99% of the times you can believe and make reasons why you should, why you could, and why why you feel it, why you see it. And then you have that 1% doubt, and that 1% doubt of disbelief can literally take you down a spiral, right? Because it's so easy to think of things that are negative, see negative, be negative, say things that are not the nicest things to say. And just that 1% will wipe out the 99% of all the other things you've been doing and you've been working on, right? Yes, and Tara, I feel like I manifested Thrive. I was craving more for my life and didn't know how to make it happen. Enter Thrive. Little did I know this would give me the community I had been needing my whole life and the avenue to learn about self-development that I didn't even know existed. Yes, yes. And again, funny thing, same thing with me, right? I wanted a community of women. I mean, there's men on here too, but I wanted a community of mostly women because, there's so much negativity surrounded around women, right? Like sometimes we're the first ones to like knock each other down or think something negative or be negative, right? Or you'll have like those girl groups, and those girl groups are really mean, right? Like the whole, you can't sit with us, you're not this, you're not this, you're not that. And so like they exclude you. So I'm sure like most of you, or maybe not any of you, maybe you guys are people that have always been like very, very popular, right? But it's like how many of us wanted a thriving community where everyone's supportive of each other, everyone's helping each other, everyone's cheering for each other. And we're all just like, we're really putting out there what we wish that we had when we were younger, right? So I am so glad you guys are like coming up with these things because it's so relatable. Like, how many times have you guys wished for a certain community or wished for a certain thing to happen? And then it happens, right? But it's all because you put it out there, you visualized it, you believed it, you had full faith that it could happen. And then it did happen, right? We are all no different from each other, right? Like, we may have different backgrounds, but we're no different. Like, at the end of the day, we're all humans, right? Like, we're all human beings, and we all want the same thing, and we all want, people to be around us that are supportive of us and our dreams, and we all want to be, I think, loved, right? Like, I think that one of the biggest points in life is to be loved and to love, right? But yes, Thrive found us all in divine timing, says Twin. And Brianna says, literally, we all manifested this. And yes, Twin, the pioneer, manifested Thrive into my life too. Yes. And thank you for manifesting Thrive into your life first, because of you, we are all here together now, right? Like, thank you for creating this community and being the first one to manifest this, right? Because now we're all here, we're all together, we're a thriving community. But you see the power of one, right? Because when she started her network, her community, her friends, her family, her coworkers, they were not doing this. They were not a part of this. They didn't know anything about it, right? But she believed, so she received. And so it's not always easy going against the grain, right? Like, I don't even know if that's a saying, but like, you guys know what I mean. Like, it's not easy doing something different that no one else around you has ever done before, and is not like the cool or the popular thing or the in thing or the trend thing to do. It's not always easy being like, I know what I'm doing, I know what I want, I know why I want it, I know what I'm doing, why I want to do what I want to do, and just saying so strong in your belief, right? And so she was one of the first, right? Like, she's the reason why most of us are here. And so in your family, in your friends, in your network, amongst your peers, maybe you're the first person ever, and they have no idea, or they don't understand this Thrive thing that you're doing and the community and why you guys are crazy about vitamins. Because who wakes up one day saying, I'm going to be obsessed with vitamins? Like, I'm going to be obsessed with becoming a network marketer. No one does. Like, no one does, right? But going against what everyone else is saying, feeling, believing, right? It's that 1%. They are that 1% of doubt, right? And you are that 99% of belief and faith that you can and you will and you should and you must. And it is just your birthright to be able to have anything and everything that you've ever wanted, right? All you have to do is visualize it, believe it, and feel the feeling, and just know that you can, right? And how helpful is it to actually have a community of people that are with you, supporting you along your journey, right? Like, most of the time, some of us, we didn't have anyone. Like, we just had each other. And so we were just in our own little bubble, our own little world. Like, this is what we're going to do. This is why we're going to do it. This is how we're going to do it, right? So on the days you find it the hardest, or the negativity out there gets in the strongest, like, stay close by the fire. We are your fire. Come to the fire, heat yourself up, warm yourself up, stay away from all of that negativity, drown it out, and like, come closer to the fire and like, get your belief from us, right? Borrow your belief, borrow our confidence for you. Yes, we all belong here. We all have a place at the table. We all play a big part in our special community. Yes. And Paola said, I never thought I would meet a community of people like this. I love it. Yes. And it all just starts with one, right? And you all are that one. Like there's someone or some people out there that have no idea what you do, how you do it, who you're surrounded by. But think of how many people need this, but they just never knew that they needed it, right? They just never knew that it was possible to have a group or a community of friends who love and support each other on their own individual journey, right? And so you guys are those people for those other people, like that are looking for something. They're looking for a change. They're looking for something bigger than themselves to be a part of. And you guys are all each that pioneer, right? That can start something and that can build something just incredibly huge. And you just never know, but you have to have like that belief and that faith and that vision that you should and you must and that you are, right? So every time a negative thought comes in your mind, I want you guys to do your best to just like swipe it away and just be like, no, like I'm not going to let that in today. Like that doesn't belong to me. It's not mine. And start to give yourself 3 to 5, even 10 reasons that go against that one negative belief, right? And as you start to build every single day, your belief and your faith in yourself and start to visualize, you're going to start to see changes all around you, right? You're going to start to see that you're attracting people and you're attracting all the things, but it starts with you first. Yes, it literally becomes easy. That's what Brianna said. And you know what? Here's the thing. I remember when I first met Brianna, we just met online, right? And we were just talking and she's like, I'm going to get on that lifestyle getaway. Like I'm going to Vegas. Like, and when she said that, like when we were DMing each other and she said that, like there was just such strong faith and full out belief in her words. Like I could feel it through the screen. I'm like, she is so certain. And I was like, she is going. Like I had already pictured her in Vegas. So when she got it and the banners went up, I was like, of course. Like, of course, but that is how strong your belief has to be in yourself that it is felt. It is felt through a phone, through a message, right? So that was really, really exciting to watch that play out. And I was like, of course, like I had no doubt in my mind. Like she said it, I saw it, and then it became, right? And she knew it. She knew what she was going to do, right? And now she has her friend Paola with her. Baby girl was already speaking about going to Vegas before she knew she was going for sure, right? It's so amazing. Felt way before. So besides visualization, I have found that practicing gratitude is something also very powerful, right? So not only visualizing, but being grateful. Like, what are you grateful for? Because every single day is a new day, is a new opportunity. If you want to become someone new in 1 minute and 1 second, it's a decision that you make, and you could become someone different, be something different, do something different, right? So, gratitude, bringing that back to gratitude, right? Like, what is gratitude to you? What are you grateful for? Because is there not so many things in life that we are so grateful for and that we should be so grateful for? I mean, there's things going on in this world that is just absolutely horrible, right? So when you put your life into perspective and you see, like, you know what, it could be worse, there are worse things happening, you start to think of the things that you should and you could be grateful for. So every day, I have a poster in my room. I have a photo in our room, and it says, start each day with a grateful heart. And that is one of my reminders that when I open my eyes and I look at that painting, that I start to think of things that I'm grateful for, right? Like, what are you guys grateful for? You have a roof, you have food, you have clothes on your back, you have a car or a way of transportation to be able to go and like make money and stuff. Like, yes, I have the same one. I got to see a photo of it. You got to show me a photo of it. Yes, in all aspects starts with your home life. It's felt, and feeling gratitude in the moment. Don't wait to experience it. Like, be gratitude, be present and feel it. Gratitude in moments. Yes. So practicing gratitude is also a key aspect of being able to attract more positive experiences into your life. And being thankful for what you have, for what you already have, puts you in a place of positivity. Like, I have everything that I need and that I will ever need. Do I want more? Sure. Can I have more? Sure. Right. But right now, in these moments, being grateful for the things that you already do have will only set you up to be grateful for more things that are to come, because you're starting to align yourself with more positivity, right? And more energy that is going to attract better and more things, right? Um, oh, I've seen it. It's from our old home. It's been with us the whole journey. Yes, be grateful that you have enough. Be grateful that you have enough and be grateful that you are enough, right? Um, and then once you visualize it and you send out gratitude, like gratitude is like one of the highest frequencies out there that you can have. It's so easy, right? Like, I'm grateful for all of you guys and for all of you guys being here and like sharing your energy with me and being so active in the chats. It's like we're just hanging out and talking, right? Um, Yes, if you are not grateful for anything or grateful for nothing, you will never have enough, be enough, or feel enough. So, gratitude, what are you grateful for? There was this book that I used to have, and every day I would write down 3 things that I was grateful for that happened in the day. And it could literally be as small as like having a cup of chamomile tea with a touch of honey. But I mean, there are so many things in life to be grateful for. You just have to like really put it out there, start to get in the mindset of like being grateful for the things that you do have instead of being too focused on the things that you don't have that you want to have, right? Yes. And that's why it becomes easy, because with true, genuine gratitude, your mind changes, your aura rises, your frequency gets higher. And with that, we are able to manifest what we want. Yes. Yes. Feeling the feeling, right? It's the visualization, the feeling. And then taking inspired action, right? Like, once you have the belief and the vision and the gratitude and you're changing your energy, what's the next thing you have to do? You have to take some inspired action, right? Like, what is it that you want and what is it that's going to get you closer to it? So, let's say you have a health goal and you want to lose weight or you want to gain weight or you just want to be more active, right? So you know what you already want. You can visualize how you would look, how you would feel in the body that you would ideally want. But you're still also grateful for where you are at now and how far your body has taken you through this journey called life, right? And so, what are the inspired actions that you need to take, right? And when you're taking those actions, how are you feeling, right? Because if you're dreading the whole process of it and not liking it, well, what are you going to attract? You want the thing, right? But you're visualizing the thing, right? But your energy is going to show up in a different way. If your energy shows up in a different way and you aren't taking inspired action while you're going towards that goal and you're like resenting it, not liking it, kind of not feeling it, then guess what you're going to bring about? Like, it's not going to happen in a way that's very pleasant, or it's going to take you a lot longer, right? It's not going to be a great journey. So taking action, and instead of just, I mean, sometimes things will happen, right? Sometimes things just do happen. But if you take inspired action towards your goals, you're excited for it, your energy is high, like you know what you're doing, you know why you're doing it, and you're not going to let anyone or anything stop you. That's like another part of like what the book talks about in the law of attraction, right? But sometimes things will happen, sometimes things will happen and it'll just drop on your lap and you'll be like, oh, wow, that was great, right? And then you're probably like a really, really great manifester. Um, yes, tell people that you're grateful for. Tell people what you're grateful for. Nico says, one of my closest friends, his laugh is one of my favorites. I can hear it a mile away in videos. I probably told him 1,000 times that I love his laugh. It brings me joy and puts a smile on my face. Yes. Tell people what you're grateful for. Like, if you're grateful for someone, let them know and let them know why and let them know how, right? Because making someone feel good about themselves and being very genuine in your gratitude for them or for something that they do, that is also like a reflection of like who you are and what you want to bring about, right? And then the next thing is the belief and the faith, right? Like believing in the process and having faith that your desires will manifest, that also helps, right? Or like your prayers will be answered, right? For some people, like maybe spirituality and manifesting, like maybe it isn't your thing. Maybe it's faith, right? Maybe it's your God. Maybe it's praying every single night and knowing that it will be answered in his time, right? That's also the same thing, like believing and having faith, as opposed to any doubts or negative beliefs, right? Like, name a time when you had full out belief and full out faith that something was going to happen and it happened, right? Like, how did you make it into, like, how did it come into reality? Like, what did you do? You just believed, you had full faith that it was going to happen and it was for you, and then it did happen, right? So being in and also I feel like being in like a childlike state of mind, like children, they're so innocent, and before they grow up, it's like everything is possible. Like anything and everything is possible. If they want to do this, they're going to do this, like they dream so big. And so having that childlike state of mind before all like the things happen, right? Some of us have been through a lot of bad things or maybe had some trauma happen. And so because of that one thing that happened or that trauma that happened, it's like all of a sudden, all those years of faith and belief of how people are, how things are, or what could happen, it's like it's gone, right? Like we get so caught up in it, and it just allows us to not change. Like you've seen, I mean, maybe some of your parents, they went through something and they've just never gotten out of it. Like it's been 20 or 30 years and they still talk about like that one thing that happened 20 or 30 years ago, and how they live their life every single day is like just based on that thing that happened 20, 30, 40 years ago. Like they never get over it, right? And so that is a place that you don't want to be in, because it's very hard to become someone new, to attract something you've never attracted before if you stay in your old story, right? Sean always tells me this about the movie. Do you want to tell them that quote that you taught me before about the movie? Do you remember? Do you remember? Why are you laughing? It's not a specific movie, but it's like you said, like, oh, would you watch a bad movie again?
Oh yeah. Yeah, your memories serve as a story, a movie. And so if you have good memories and bad memories, which memories you want to keep on recalling, right? So in the example that you're talking about, like someone who has been holding on to a bad memory, a bad story
Yeah.
for 10, 20, 30 years, and they continue to repeat that story over and over, right? They are recalling a bad memory. They are recalling a bad experience, a bad story. And so, the goal is to, you can hold on to it if you want, but how does that serve you? Right? How does that serve you? How does it serve the people that you're sharing it with? There may be a lesson or an experience or some guidance within those stories, but for the person that's holding on to those stories, how are they interpreting it? Are they allowing that bad memory, that bad story, that bad experience, are they allowing that to bring them through suffering in life, or is that helping them and enabling them to be empowered, right? How do you spin it? How do you see it? Because you can look at a bad experience in the past, and you can recall that bad memory, and then you can bring that bad memory to the present moment and then relive it over and over again in a disempowering way. Or you can bring that bad memory to the present moment and then use that memory to empower yourself in the present moment. Does that make sense? So it just depends on your intentions. It depends on your level of awareness. It depends on, how conscious are you when it comes to all these things, the tools that you have, your skills, everything. So again, for those who have bad memories, bad experiences, bad stories, right? If you could keep on replaying those bad stories over and over again, you will sooner than later realize that you're manifesting those same bad memories, those same bad experiences, those same bad stories in the present moment and in your future. So that's what the law of attraction is all about as well, right?
Yeah.
What you think about is what you bring about. And whatever you are bringing about is what you are feeling and experiencing. And then in turn, that's exactly what your reality is. So let's be very intentional with thinking about what we want to bring in. And then from there, that feeling, they say that in the secret, the universe communicates to you through feeling. So how are you feeling right now? Right? How, when you're playing a story in your head, a memory, an experience from the past, whether it's positive or negative, how does that make you feel today? How does it make you feel right now? If you just think about it right now, if you think about your childhood right now, think about a happy moment. Think about a time when you were smiling, you were laughing, maybe you were in the sun, you were feeling that warm energy, and bring that energy today. Bring that energy to the now. You can literally recall the past memories, whatever that may be, and you can spin it however you want in today's present moment. Because it's not about manipulating like your mind, it's about being empowered, like believing that you can change the past in the present moment today, and then using that energy, those lessons, those experiences, and using it and channeling that energy, the positive energy, into today, into now, and then from there bringing that forth to your future. So there's many different ways to do this, but again, it's very simple. Like, let's keep everything as simple as possible. What you think about is what you're going to manifest, you're going to bring into your reality. And for those who have memories that they were harsh, or they were traumatic, or they were bad experiences, or they were whatever that story is for you, one thing that I would want to encourage you all to do, and even for your parents, right, is let it go. Right, it's important to let go of those bad memories, because how is it serving you? Like, ask yourself that question. How is it serving you? Right? If there are some experiences that it's been years now, or maybe it's been months, right? How does that serve you today? How does it serve you in the now? How can you spin the story? What lessons can you gain from that experience? Everything that's happening for you is happening, everything that's happening to you is happening for you, right? So, how are you going to let all those experiences empower you, right? There's a lot of good comments.
Yes, must work on it daily and it will go.
Oh yeah, it's very true. Yeah. And there's, like, everything is real. So whatever you think, remember, this is what we said before. If you can think about it, you can imagine it, more than likely it's real. At least that's my belief, right? If I can think about something, then chances are, like, it's probably real. Right? I don't know where it's real, but it's probably real. And so when it comes to letting go, right? When it comes to letting go of the negative or bad stories, or whatever story that is in your head, right? In your memories. Well, again, you have the power. Every single one of us has the capability to let it go. There's that one song, right? Let it go. I forgot what that movie is, but
Frozen.
yeah, Frozen. Yeah, like,
Sing that in your head.
yeah, sing that in your head. Like, when you're going through some negative, like, you have some bad stories, like, sing that song, and then, but at the very end of it, if you're gonna sing that song at the very end, like, make sure that you set an intention that you're gonna spin it and end it on a positive note. So that way you bring forth that positive energy, and
Yeah.
you empower yourself to move forward, right?
Yeah.
Move forward to where you want to go. Because again, be, do, have, right? If you think about whatever, you're gonna attract that. You're gonna bring that in. It's the same exact thing with business. Everything that you do. There's a book. I think it's the Kabbalion, but they talk about how the all is mind. The universe is mental. So everything in the world starts in the mind first. Everything starts in the mental. Everything starts in what you're thinking. Right? Thoughts are things. That's what they talk about in Think and Grow Rich and in The Secret. Thoughts are things. So if that is true, right? What thoughts are you thinking about, right? What is in your mind? What are you attracting? Just right now, wherever you're at, look around. Like, where are you right now? There may be some people that are listening to this on the AirPods at work, right? On the headphones at work. That's what I was doing in 2013, 2014. I was literally clocked in, working, full-time job. And guess what? In one ear, I have my headphones, personal development. In the other side, what I'm seeing is I'm standing in Walmart, and I'm surrounded with people that I don't want to be around, because that was just where I was at. But guess what? I had a vision for myself of, I'm not going to be here in this place. I'm not going to be clocked in and out every single day of my life working in a Walmart, selling TV, internet, and phone services to people that don't even want it. Okay, that's what I was doing in my head. In one side, right? In one side, I was saying, I'm getting better. I need to refine. I need to perfect myself. I need to level up my skill sets. I need to change my mindset. I need to change me. I need to change me so I can change my future. That's what I was doing every single day. Every single day. Guess what? When I'm gonna read that one after. So you, wherever you're at, you can always decide to change. You can decide to change your future now. It just depends on what your future looks like. What do you want though? Right? What are you thinking about? What are you visualizing? What are you imagining? What are you dreaming up? Ask yourself that question because it's possible. You can change the trajectory of your life. You can change the location of your life. You can change the place that you're in right now, tomorrow. You can do it immediately. One connection away, one deal away, one sale away, one person away. It's possible. You are one connection away from life change. Look at this. One connection away. One connection away. Literally. And my life completely changed. Right? It's if it happened for me, it can happen for you too. 100%. Angela says that's how I feel when I walk into Costco. Me too. I don't like going to Costco. I'm gonna share with you a story. Every week I walk in there, I'm like instant gratification that I love what we need, what we do. Yesterday I was out with my daughter and I was like, damn, time freedom. I love this. Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Guess what? For me, I don't like grocery shopping. I actually, in fact, I'm not good at grocery shopping. I have a level 1 of 100 for grocery shopping. I remember like at the team at the auto shop, they're saying, "Hey, we need to get food," and I didn't want them to go out to get the food, so I said, "I'll go get it." I went to the grocery store and
I got a lot of texts and phone calls that
I
said,
was like, "Oh my gosh, where is this thing? Like this, what is this item?" Like I'm not good at grocery shopping. It's just not the best use of my time, and it's also not one of my strengths. Okay. So guess what I did? Instead, I'm like, you know what? There's delivery apps. There's companies that deliver all these things. Well, guess what? 2 years ago, I got introduced to an opportunity for a grocery delivery company, right? To be a part of that company. And 2 years ago, I was like, wow, this is such a great idea. Like, not only am I aligned with their beliefs, not only am I aligned with, the fact that I don't like shopping in grocery stores, I don't like going to the stores to shop. What I do like is getting people, to deliver things for me so that way I can save my time. So that way I can get convenience. So that way I can focus on what I want to focus on and fulfill my ambitions. Well, guess what? 2 years later, that same company, it's a grocery delivery company, they come back to me and they say, you know what? Like, we need your help. Like, are you ready? Like, do you want to go? Like, do you want to get started with us? Right. And after a long process and after seeing the growth from 2 years ago till now, like it's time. And I said yes. And now I'm part of the company and I'm working on the marketing for them. And guess what? That the vision that I see for the grocery delivery is something that I can believe in. It's something that I'm back. I fully support with my energy and time. I'm super intentional with my energy and time. Guess what? This company is something that I can be a part of. This is something that I can see in the future and something that I'm using so that way I can get my groceries delivered. So I never have to step foot in a grocery store again. That was right there for me, law of attraction, the secret. That was the whole point. So,
I mean,
yeah.
I love grocery shopping. Like for me, it's you're going out there and you're doing something and it's for your family, right? And so it's for your family and it's to nourish them, right? So I
Mhm.
think like maybe I mean it depends, right? Like some men love to cook and they love to like do those things too, right? Everyone has a thing that they like or they don't like, right? Um but yeah, like I love going grocery shopping and like looking at stuff. It's actually like my time off in a way where I don't have to think so much. Like I still have to think, but it's become instinctual, right? But yes, it's like the time freedom too, right? Like yesterday I went to 7 different places and I worked at home, right? So I like ran errands, I did all the things, I still worked, I still took care of my family. And so it's that time freedom, right? And like what Paola said, like that's where you're gonna get to one day, the time freedom. And like you're tired of serving at restaurants and missing important holidays when you should be living your best life for yourself and your daughter.
Mm.
Absolutely, as you should, as you should be doing those things. And the thing is, like, it's so possible, like, it's so possible to live the life of your dreams and have
Yeah.
that time freedom. But where is it first going to come from? It's first going to come from the belief that you should, the belief that you deserve it, right? You deserve the life you want to live. And regardless of your circumstances, circumstances now and what you're going through, what you're growing through, or what you're doing, like it's up to you to believe and have full out faith that you should and you will, right? And so having the faith and the belief that where you're at now does not need to be where you will be next year or 2 years from now, but have that faith and have that visualization and have the gratitude every day and just see it and believe it and feel it and start to take inspired actions that's going to get you closer, right, to that belief, to that faith, to that thing, right? And so like going back to like grocery shopping, like when I am going grocery shopping and it's like in the middle of the day, I am thinking like I am so grateful, right? Like I'm not just running an errand doing something that I don't want to do. Like because of course, like
Mhm.
would I rather be doing something else? Yeah, like I'd rather not be doing nothing, right? Like I'd rather be doing watching a movie or like going out to lunch or like doing, going on a vacation than grocery shopping sometimes, right? But in those moments, because these are things that like that is my part of my responsibility, part of the thing that like I need to do for my family, I'm grateful. I'm looking around and instead of like, oh, I hate doing this, I don't like doing this and that, I could be doing this, I could be doing that. No, like I don't have that negative attitude. I'm like, I am so grateful that it is smack in the middle of the day and
Mhm.
I get to do what I want on the hours that I want to. Like it's such a good feeling being able to go somewhere and do something during the time when it's least busiest, right? Because I've been running errands on the weekdays and then I've been running errands on the weekends, right? And there's such a huge difference in the parking lots, in like people's attitude, in the energy. So, in everything and anything that you do, whether you like it or not, whether you could be doing something better or not, have that gratitude, that silver lining of being grateful for what you're doing and why you're doing it. Because there's so many other things out there that like you could be doing. You could be clocked in working for someone at a job, not able to go out grocery shopping, right?
Yeah.
And so having the gratitude for anything and everything that you're doing when you're doing it will get you a step closer to the things that you want. Because instead of always thinking about the negative things, you turn everything into a positive experience, right? And so attracting more positive experiences starts with being grateful for what you have because you could be doing something else. You could be in the middle of a war-torn country,
Mhm.
right? What is your perspective on life? Like, what are you doing? What are you grateful for? Like, how are you able to do the things that you're doing now, right? So, gratitude.
Yeah, 100%. Like that's perspective right there. That's so true. It's really like at the end of the day, we're on this Zoom, right? Like there is, if you just think about it, right? There is like wars happening. There is crisis happening. There is, you know, people going through experiences that, in my opinion, like no one should experience, right? That's just it's evil, right? And so what are we doing? Right? We're here, we get the chance and we get the time to actually be together. We get the time to actually work on our goals, our dreams, ourselves. We get to be like that light. Like if not us, then who, right? Like be grateful, right? Have that perspective. Whenever you're feeling like you're going through some bad stuff, that perspective shift, right? That perspective of, well, it's not about me, right? It's not about me. It's about everyone else. It's about the impact I'm making. It's about the
Yep.
people that I'm gonna help in the future. It's about the people I'm helping now, right? What is that perspective shift for you? If you're going through some traumatic experience right now, or you're going through some hard times, or you're going through those tests of life, well, keep it into perspective, right? And don't give up. Like you should not give up just simply because you didn't want to go through the hard times. Like you should push through. Like those tests that life throws at you, it's for a reason. Their life is testing you and throwing those tests to you to say, are you worth it? To say, do you really want this? Do you really deserve this? Right? Are you going to earn it? That's what life is doing every single time you get a test thrown at you, right? As long as you survive and then you thrive through it, guess what? Now you get to deserve it. Now you get to earn it. Now you get to actually live it, right? Again, this is what you always say. This is what Crystal always says. Don't think about the how, right? Whenever you're manifesting something, you're looking to bring something into your reality. You're looking to achieve a goal, achieve some success, whatever that may be for you. Don't think about the how. Just think about what you truly desire. Think about that and focus on it. In The Secret, it says, whatever you focus on with intention and purpose, you're going to bring forth no matter what. Because you're just holding that focus, you're holding that thought in focus. And guess what? That's what you visualize and that's what you see. And that's what happens. When you see it, you believe it, right? When you see it, you receive it. So guess what? That right there is about visualization. It's the power of the law of attraction. It's thinking, right? What you think about is what you bring about, right? Having impact and purpose. For me, I've always had time freedom. Just just brokey. My husband is the breadwinner. I manifested being his equal. I had no cash flow. So it's definitely so amazing and it's rewarding. It has impact and purpose and living for your life. Having impact and purpose. Yes. When you can envision it, it's possible. 100%. Yes, you got, yeah. And you know what? Like, Angela, you deserve it, right? Everything that you manifested into your life, right? Your husband, your family, the cash flow, the team, everything was because you believed, right? You believed, you were coachable, and you took all out massive inspired action. And then guess what? You stuck with it. You were consistent, stuck with it, and you kept on leveling up, kept on working on yourself, right? Always a student. Guess what? And then you bring it back to everyone else,
Yeah.
right? Your energy, the energy transfers to every single one of us, right? So guess what? Even in the comments when you're chatting, right? The energy, I can feel it. We feel it. Everyone feels it. Everyone can see it. See that right there? Like, that is about empowering yourself and empowering others just
Yeah.
by being you. That is a power right there. So thank you.
Yeah. And then if you think about it, it's like, you know, you knew what you wanted. You knew what you wanted and you put out there like, this is what I want, you know, like this is what I want and I know I can do it. Like you just knew you could do it, right? And then you just did it. And that's how it is. Like that's how it is for all of us. Like for Paola, you're working in a restaurant, right? Like, and that's fine. I used to work selling hermit crabs. So every morning I'd go to the mall, I'd go to the kiosk, and the first thing I would do after I opened the curtains was I would pick out the dead hermit crabs. I don't know if you guys have smelled hermit crabs before, but dead hermit crabs are another level to hermit crabs. Like they're the
Man.
slimy things that come out of the shells. And it's like, I was doing that, like, I think when I was in early teen, like in my early teens, right? While I was going to college and I was getting paid $7 an hour, right? But for me, it's like, I did not allow what I saw in front of my eyes, what I smelled, you know, in my environment to dictate where I am today, right? And so that is what we all should, could, and should continue to do, right? Like there's different levels. Like we are still not where we want to be. And that's okay because every time you hit a goal, I hope you guys never stop. I hope you guys take that one goal that you hit to inspire you to do another one and another one and another one. And then to be able during those times, during that process, during your growth, to be able to help inspire people. Because once you get from a place that you did not want to be at or you didn't really care to be at, it was just your life in that moment, to somewhere absolutely like completely different. Like, what about all those other people that you touch and that you inspire along the way, right? What about everyone else that was in the same place that you were in? And you're like, hey, I was there too. I was doing the things I didn't want to do. But in my mind, I knew that this was not forever. This was just for now. This is just for now. It's not forever. And visualizing really where you want to be and what you want to do, and still continuing to do what you need to do, but always having that full out belief and that faith in your mind, that vision, that feeling, those emotions that this is only temporary, right? And so a lot of us have been through that. Think of all the things that you guys have been through. Think of all the things where you were. Where were you 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right? Maybe you are somewhere completely different, right? And it doesn't really matter the time because things can happen so instantaneously when you start to change your energy and your feeling and you start to visualize and really feel the emotion of what that would feel like to be able to live the life of your dreams, right? But it's going to start with you. It's going to start by you attracting what you want. How would you wake up? And when you wake up, how would you feel? How would you run your day as your highest self, living your best life? How would it be? How would it feel? And start to feel the feeling now, even though your external factors and what you may see or smell or hear may not be where it is, but start to visualize that and pull it in, right? So I think that's another part of the law of attraction
Yeah.
and how you can attract things into your life.
And let me give you a reminder, right? When, in 2013, I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was working as a food cashier in the San Diego airport. I forgot if it's international or not, but it was the airport, right? And all I saw every single day from like 2:30 a.m. to like 4 p.m. was people lining up to grab their food. Their attitude was either great or bad. Like most of the time it was not that great. And that's the energy I received. And all I see them do is buy their food that I couldn't even afford, and then they would go on a plane to wherever they're going. And all I could imagine was one day I'm going to be able to do that. One day I'm going to be able to walk up in this airport, buy whatever food I want, and go on a plane ride. That was all I cared about back then, And guess what? I didn't have a vehicle that could help me though. That's the thing I want to remind you of. You guys all have a vehicle, a business that you're able to make however much income you want to make from, dependent on your thoughts, dependent on your belief, dependent on your commitment, dependent on your dreams, your goals. Guess what? In 2013, I was hoping for that. I was looking for opportunity. I was looking for a vehicle that can help me aside from my full-time job, aside from my 9 to 5 grind, aside from the 12-hour shifts, the 14-hour shifts. I was looking for something else, a vehicle that can help me make an income, multiply my income. And then when it came, then I started to have a community of like-minded individuals, of people that were different, of people that were going after the path that was different, the road less traveled. They were going towards their goals and dreams. They were fulfilling their ambitions. That's who I was surrounding myself with once I found a vehicle. Guess what? The reminder is every single one of us here has a vehicle called Thrive. Guess what? It's up to you to make it happen because it's possible. You already see the proof. Your friends are right here living their life. Guess what? No matter what level it looks like, no matter what lifestyle it looks like, it is possible. It just depends on what's in your mind. It depends on your belief. It depends on what you're dreaming about. It depends on what you are visualizing. It depends on who you are now and who you need to become in order to have what you want. It's the be, do, have. It's everything that we talk about on Fire Hour is the same exact thing. It just looks different, but it's the same principles. What you want, you can have, as long as you are willing to do the work. You are willing to do the work. You're willing to be coachable. You're willing to be a student. You are willing to say, you know what? Life is not what I want it to be right now. But guess what? Tomorrow it can be different. Right now, though, it starts. It starts with you deciding. It's just one decision away. You are one decision away from life change. And that is the truth. That is 100% the truth. Once you make a decision, you speak those words into existence. You say, enough is enough. I am ready to live my best life. I am living my best life. I am here to do what I want to do in this lifetime. I am ready to make it happen. It is because of me, right? It's up to me to make it happen. Guess what? Take full ownership because you are all leaders of your own ship, of your life. You have the power. You have the belief. You have the community. You have the vehicle. You have everything that can be possible for you to help you get to your goals. Guess what? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe 100% that you can make it happen? 1% doubt, you're out. Do you believe that it is possible for you to live your best life? Do you believe that it is possible for you to change your lifestyle now? Do you believe it's possible? Do you believe you're worth it? What is it for you? What needs to change? What's that one tipping decision that will help you go full out? That will help you say, I'm different. I'm ready. I am willing. I'm able. It's possible. I can make it happen. I am doing it in this lifetime now. It's happening. What is it? Who needs to be here? Who needs to say yes? Who do you need to be now to change it? You can do it, right? You can do it 100%. Believe in yourself. Play full out 100% in. You have this vehicle. It's in your life for a reason. It's here for a reason. Fulfill that reason, okay? Fulfill it. You got this, all right? We believe in you. We love you all. It's 7:07, all right? So 5, that's number 5 right there. 1 + 4 is 5. Guess what? That's life change. It starts today. It starts right now. Okay. Make it happen. Well, we love you all. Take care. Dominate your path and make it happen. All right. Peace out.
Love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.